Section 1. The Hidden Threads, Genetics and Mental Health. Mental health is complex and multifaceted. It affects how we think, feel, and act, shaping our daily experiences and interactions. It impacts our relationships, our ability to cope with life's challenges, and our overall well-being. For years, we focused on environmental factors like upbringing, trauma, and life experiences. But what if our genes also play a significant role in shaping our mental health? Understanding the genetic basis of mental health could revolutionize treatment and prevention strategies. It could offer hope and a deeper understanding to millions of people worldwide. This journey begins by unraveling the mysteries hidden within our DNA, the very essence of our being. Imagine a vast library filled with intricate blueprints, each one unique. Each blueprint dictates the structure and function of a different part of our body, including our brain, the control center of our thoughts and emotions. These blueprints are our genes, the fundamental units of heredity. They are made up of DNA, the building blocks of life, carrying the instructions for our development and functioning. Each gene carries specific instructions that influence our physical and mental characteristics, shaping who we are. Just like eye color or height, our genes can also influence our risk for mental health conditions, making us more or less susceptible to certain disorders. Section 2. Unraveling DNA genes and their influence. In this section, we will delve deeper into the fascinating world of genetics and explore how our genes shape who we are. DNA is like a long, twisted ladder, a double helix that holds the blueprint of life. The rungs of this ladder are made up of 4 chemical bases: adenine, A, thymine, T, guanine, G, and cytosine, C. These bases are the fundamental building blocks of our genetic code. These bases pair up in specific ways, A with T and G with C, to form the genetic code. This pairing is essential for the accurate replication and function of DNA. This code, in turn, determines the instructions encoded within our genes. These instructions are crucial for the development, functioning, and reproduction of all living organisms. Genes don't work in isolation. They interact with each other and with our environment in complex ways. These interactions can influence everything from our physical traits to our susceptibility to certain diseases. Think of it like baking a cake. Genes are like the ingredients, and the environment is like the oven temperature and baking time. Just as both are needed to bake a perfect cake, both genes and the environment are crucial for the final outcome of an organism. Both are crucial for the final outcome. The interplay between genes and the environment can lead to a wide variety of genetic outcomes. A slight variation in a gene, like a single letter change in the DNA sequence, is called a single nucleotide polymorphism, or SNP. These small changes can have significant effects on an individual's traits and health. These SNPs can influence how genes function and contribute to individual differences in mental health. Understanding these variations can help us better understand the complexities of human genetics and the factors that contribute to our unique identities. Section 3. The Blueprint of Our Minds, Genes and Mental Predisposition. Genes do not determine destiny. They are not the sole architects of our mental health. They do not dictate whether we will or will not develop a mental health condition. Instead, they act as one piece of a much larger puzzle. Instead, they influence our predisposition, our susceptibility to certain conditions. This means they can make us more or less likely to develop specific mental health issues. Having a genetic predisposition doesn't guarantee a mental health issue. It is merely a factor that can increase the probability. It simply means that the likelihood of developing that condition may be higher compared to someone without that genetic makeup. For example, studies have shown that certain gene variants are more common in people with depression. These genetic markers can provide valuable insights. These genes are involved in regulating serotonin, a neurotransmitter that plays a crucial role in mood regulation. Serotonin levels can significantly impact our emotional well-being. However, not everyone with these gene variants develops depression. This highlights the complexity of mental health. Many other factors, such as stressful life events or social support, also come into play. These environmental influences can either mitigate or exacerbate genetic predispositions. Section 4. The Serotonin Link, a case study in genetic influence. Serotonin is a chemical messenger in the brain. It helps regulate mood, sleep, and appetite. Variations in genes that control serotonin production, transport, and reception can influence its availability in the brain. This can, in turn, affect our emotional well-being. Consider the serotonin transporter gene, 5-HTT. This gene helps regulate the reuptake of serotonin in the brain, ensuring its optimal levels. Research suggests that individuals with a specific variation in the 5-HTT gene may be more vulnerable to depression, especially after experiencing stressful life events. This highlights the complex interplay between genes and environment in shaping our mental health. Section 5. The nature versus nurture debate. Untangling the complexities. The age-old debate of nature versus nurture is particularly relevant in mental health. It's not a matter of either or, but rather an intricate dance between our genetic makeup and our lived experiences. Both contribute to who we are and how our minds function. Imagine identical twins sharing the same genetic blueprint. Even they, raised in the same environment, can have different mental health outcomes. This emphasizes that genes are not the sole determinant. Environmental factors like childhood experiences, social support, and exposure to trauma also leave their mark on our mental well-being. Section 6. Beyond genes, environmental factors and their role. Environmental factors can influence gene expression. This means they can affect how our genes function, turning them on or off like a switch. Epigenetics is the study of these modifications to gene expression that occur without altering the underlying DNA sequence. Think of it like this. Our genes provide the blueprint, but our environment can alter the construction plan. Traumatic experiences, for instance, can leave epigenetic marks on our genes, influencing our stress response and increasing the risk for conditions like PTSD. Similarly, positive experiences like social support and healthy coping mechanisms can have protective effects on our mental health. Section 7. A new era of understanding. The promise of genetic research. Research into the genetics of mental health is rapidly evolving. Scientists are identifying specific genes and gene variations associated with conditions like depression, bipolar disorder, and schizophrenia. This knowledge holds immense potential for developing more targeted and effective treatments. Imagine a future where genetic testing helps identify individuals at higher risk for certain mental health conditions. This could pave the way for early interventions, personalized treatment plans, and even preventive measures tailored to an individual's genetic makeup. Genetic research also offers the potential for developing new medications that target the specific biological pathways implicated in mental illness. Section 8. Towards a brighter future. Personalized treatment and prevention. The ultimate goal of understanding the genetic basis of mental health is to improve the lives of those affected. By unraveling the complex interplay between genes and environment, we can move towards a future of personalized medicine, where treatment and prevention strategies are tailored to each individual's unique needs. This knowledge empowers individuals to make informed decisions about their mental health care. It allows for proactive measures such as lifestyle modifications and early intervention strategies to mitigate genetic risks. Ultimately, by embracing the complexities of genetics and mental health, we pave the way for a brighter and more hopeful future for all.